You are really angry and anxious. You clearly told him to go back to the hospital, but he is standing in front of you. Even you had stayed here for so long and he is still here. He saw you becoming more anxious, so he barely curved his lips to smile, saying softly, I remembered that you didn't have an invitation card, so I made the driver turn back. How can there be no end to what you do? We agreed to send you to him. Let me watch you go in. He pulled you towards entrance. People are wondering, and some are guilt, thinking in a bad way, and some are envious. How could they really know each other? We had an accident on our way here. We can't find the invitation card now, but for my sake, can you let her in? You stood looking at him worriedly. Young master, you must be joking. You have already spoken. How can we not let her in? Miss, I'm really sorry we didn't know your identity. If we had known, we won't be delaying. Please come in this way. He turned gently, smiling and sad to go in. He will watch you until you went in. Then he will return. You gritted your teeth and told him to go after you went. So you immediately rushed in but stopped and turned back to look at him. He faintly smiled. Go, don't turn back. You are extremely sad. You still have hurt, but he persuaded you to go. Banquet was almost over. He stared at your back until you disappeared. He sadly turned back to go but couldn't support himself and fell heavily coughing. People there quickly went to support him. Young master, you okay? God, how did you get hurt like this? He brushed away others' hand. I'm fine. He didn't like to be in close contact with anyone, but at the end, there present some colleagues called the ambulance and sent him to the hospital. You walked here and there in the venue, searching that figure. Your skirt was long, so you held with both hands. Walking slowly, people are still enjoying. According to his position in the city, if he was at the banquet tonight, then he should be the center of attention at the banquet. So you only needed to go to the most crowded place to find him. You almost happily cried and rushed every crowd. You're really in a sorry state. Many women looked at you with disgust and some with strange. Who is she? How did she make herself like this? How did she sneak in? They are unfamiliar with you and talk behind a topic. Two men came to block your way while holding a cocktail. Beauty, I wonder if we have the honor to invite you to a dance. Sorry, I am looking for someone. You walked past them, but they kept pestering you and tell they will help you. You were in a hurry, but they didn't let you move forward. If you are here to looking for someone, then they can also have fun around. So one of them asked your number. Looking at your anxious and hurry condition, make one felt guilty. Who you are looking for? Are you really looking for someone? Or are you trying to use this to stall us? Jungkook, you directly said a name. They're stunned at first. What did you say? Who are you looking for? I'm looking for my husband, Jungkook. Do you know him? Can you take me to him? You looked directly to the person as if he will help you. These two people wouldn't let you leave easily, and you don't have much time to bicker with them. Huh, you just said Jungkook is your husband. Are you joking? They didn't believe, but their expression changed. What kind of existence he have? Although most of them despised him for being a cripple behind his back, none of them could defeat him in the business world. Yuk Sung-jae was very powerful that many didn't dare to provoke him, but after he offended Jungkook, he was crippled by Jungkook. Moreover, he could make people's business fall down. Therefore, there was a saying in the business circle that anyone who provokes Jungkook is equivalent to brushing a tiger's fur. Who would be willing to do such an unrewarding thing? If you want to know whether it's a joke or not, just follow and see. You walked past them. They didn't dare to follow you. They felt that no one dared to joke like this. After all, it was about Jungkook's marriage, but that disabled person was married is a joke. What can he do? Such a waste of that beauty. But women looking pregnant, many businessmen know that Jungkook had married 6 months ago with a daughter of Yu family, but his wife had never revealed in person. They didn't follow. You felt relief and quickly moved forward. It was not easy to keep walking and running. You saw a familiar figure standing in the second floor. You quickly called him. Minho. He seemed to hear someone calling him, so he looked around here and there. You waved your hand. He came running down, almost frightened, looking at your appearance. His expression changed drastically and almost lost his composure, but immediately calmed down and took you away from there. You turned your head to look for someone. Where is Jungkook? You didn't see him. You felt your heart panic. Minho was here, but why Jungkook isn't? What did this mean? Or did Minho want to bring you to Jungkook? Minhoshi, where are you taking me? Where is Jungkook? He didn't say anything and kept pulling you into the corner. Young madam, why are you only here now? Something happened on the way. I'm late, so he could see by your appearance that something had happened. Young madam, young master has been waiting for you all night. Did he wait for you for long? Your face became pale and felt guilty in your heart. I'm sorry, I don't know. Your expression was sad that he couldn't bear. It's too late. You raised your head, not understanding what he meant. Young master left 10 minutes ago. Your expression became ugly. You had arrived but was stopped in the entrance. You told him. Minho said that he had been guarding for hours, but later he thought that you will not come, so he didn't watch on the entrance. You didn't know who could you blame to. It was clearly your relationship. If he left 10 minutes ago, then he must be not left by the venue or he should be on the way leaving. You requested Minho to bring you to the way he left. You followed Minho through the empty corridor, enduring discomfort, and wished that you could see him at this moment. You didn't know why Minho bring you to the private room. He opened and saw room was empty. There was no one. It seems like young master has left. You bite your bottom lips, expressing pain. Will he go to the parking lot? Take me to the parking lot. Okay, let's go. He tried his best to bring you to Jungkook. Young master's expression and aura tonight was really not right. If young madam didn't appear right in front of him, Minho has a very bad feeling. When you both came to the parking lot, the car just happened to drive out. Minho was in daze when you suddenly chased after the car. Young madam, what's wrong? Minho came to his sense and noticed that the car belonged to Jungkook, so he immediately chased as well while shouting, Young Master John, but the car was driving so fast, you still hope that you can catch up to his car or that his car would stop, but both couldn't. You almost tripped on your skirt and almost fell forward, young madam. He squatted down and looked at your pale self. There was many wounds and cuts. It was a horrifying sight. What's wrong with young madam? The accident you mentioned earlier is referring to. You took deep breath and extended your hand. Give me a hand. He helped you up after taking some more breath. You looked at the road and couldn't see that car. Young master probably went back to the villa. You nodded. Since you didn't catch him here, then you would go back to look after him. You look at Minho weakly. Can it trouble you to send me back? Minho was stunned before nodding, but then hesitate a little. Of course, I will send you back. Should we go to the hospital to treat first? Then we will go back to Hejong Villa. No, you shook your head. Let's not care about this for now. Let's go back to Villa. I need to talk to him first, then think about the one later. Minho obeyed and drove the car. Your knees were bleeding and it stained the dress. Minho gives some tissues. He has many questions to ask you that what had happened and why you came so late. Why is there so many wounds on your body? What exactly had happened? But he couldn't ask a single question. It was as if after asking it will the same as poking your wound. I hope that young master can forgive young madam for what she did tonight after seeing these wounds. Car finally arrived at the Hejung villa but was stopped at the door. Minho raised his eyebrow and waved at the gatekeeper, but gatekeeper still didn't open the gate. Minho didn't understand and get down from the car, telling you to wait in. You watched outside. You couldn't hear what they were talking, more like arguing. For long, he didn't come back. You nervously gulped a mouthful saliva and roughly guessed that something might happen. You came out of the car and went here. Minhoshi, what's wrong? Minho suddenly straightened his back and looked at you with complicated expression. It's okay. I just want to talk to them. Minho's hand landed on Guard's shoulder as if he was threatening Guard with gaze. Guard didn't dare to look into Minho's eyes. Seeing this, you confirm your guess even more and your body trembled, but you calmly asked, he doesn't let me in, right? Minho tried to explain. It's not like this, young madam. Young master waited for young madam for entire time. He must be angry now, so he doesn't want me to go in. Is that right? You lowered your head. He doesn't even want to hear a word of explanation from me. Young madam, Minhoshi, since they won't let me in, you can go in yourself. But young madam, please tell him that. I will wait for him here. I want to see him. I have a lot of things to say to him, please. He nodded and tell you to wait here before going in, giving few those people a warning glance. You stood little far from gate. You are wearing formal dress and it's so cold there and this clothes exposed your shoulders and wind blew, making you shiver and rubbed hands together. Few of them couldn't bear and asked you to go there and wait since the night wind was strong and you will catch a cold. Your lips moved, but you couldn't blame them. They couldn't let you in, but care about your safety. You didn't speak or move. Guard can sense the anger in young Master John today, but they know how much young Master cared for young Madam. Young Madam was the first woman he had brought here, but the more one loved in his heart, the more angry he would get, right? If it was not for young master, give them order that don't let you in 15 minutes ago. They will not be this much heartless. If they let you enter, they will suffer. They couldn't see you like this, but they have to be blind eyes to this. Everyone there was afraid by young master's temper, but young masters had improved since you came to this villa. It's more than months he came here daily. The situation had never happened in those 10 years. You had waited for long, and Minho came running. Minhoshi, you softly whispered, trembling. It was too cold, and your dress couldn't help at all. His expression was ugly. Moreover, he seemed to have an additional document in his hand. Young madam, he couldn't speak properly. You blinked Is he not willing to see me? He nodded sadly. Young master is still angry. He doesn't want to see you now. Young madam, why don't you come back another day? Did you pass what I said to him? Minho remembered the situation at that time. Jungkook's appearance was too scary. He went to convey, but what do you want to say? I waited for her all night, and now she's here to pretend to be beautiful. Tell her that I won't believe her nonsense this time. But young madam, Minho wanted to tell that you're injured, but Jungkook coldly interrupted. Young madam, is she good enough? He threw a document to Minho. Didn't she always want this? Give it to her and tell her to get lost. Minho picked up the documents. He was shocked. Young master, are you sure you want to give this to young madam? Remember, she will no longer be the Joan family's second young madam. From now on, get out. Minho didn't move, so Jungkook coldly scolded him before raising his hand to sweep the things away from the table angrily. Minho knew that time he can't stay there for long, so he left. He heard the things broken inside, but he can't go in to stop. Did he ask you to pass this to me? You looked at the document and reached out to take it, but Minho stepped back. Although Jungkook had already given him to pass this document, but young master is just angry tonight. He had tell him once to destroy documents. When people were angry, they would always make some irrational decisions. Minho felt that it was not Jungkook's real decision. Minho didn't know if Jungkook would regret it later and blame him when the time comes. In fact, Minho would be unlucky in both decisions. He had to think about it carefully. Give it to me. You smiled. Since he asked you to give it to me, don't hesitate. Minho didn't want to give, but you take it. Young master is really angry tonight. You had already guessed. You silently opened the documents. You didn't know if Jungkook really didn't want you. Your face was pale and your body trembled. Documents slipped down powerlessly. Young madam, he was shocked. Is he really going to do this? Just because? Because I didn't show up at the banquet? Is he going to give me this divorce agreement? Tears rolled down. He squatted down hardly to pick up the documents again. Because of tears falling on, paper became wet. Okay, even if he wants to do it so well, he can do it. Let me see him one last time, okay? Minho advised you not to see him today. Give him space after 2 or 3 days. Young master's anger would subside and he will change his mind, then come to find you. Trust me, young master really has a deep feeling for you. He must be the one who made wrong decision. You didn't know whether Jungkook is sad or not. You only know that you are very sad. He had taken out the divorce agreement so easily. This agreement was like a sharp blade in front of you. You don't want to go back until you see him. You must see him today. You will determined and you will wait for him there until he comes out. Minho was so worried. Your wound has not treated. This was not good. Minho already said that waiting him for now won't work, but you stubbornly stood there. If you keep staying like this, you will fall down less than minutes. Bhumi also came and see you there. She was so angry and scolded to the guards, but they said nothing. Bhumi asked Minho to arrange the situation to match you to Jungkook. She will be there to take care. Bhumi, give you a warm shawl. She glared at guards. They are guilty. Do you think we don't like young madam? She's so kind and generous. She treated us so nicely, and we hope that she will be our young madam for the rest of our lives. but we can't offend young master's order. We are really sorry. Minho left, not wasting times. You are not willing to move, but Minho can't do anything and came back again after getting scolded. He looked helpless. Even he came to persuade you. You won't listen, and he can't settle with young master. If Minho went in again, he can't guarantee about his life either. Minho can only promise that he will make a peace between if you leave now. He will bring Jungkook later in front of you. But no, you won't leave. Jungkook would not come later if you leave now. The fact that he had not brought out the divorce agreement, even you asked many times, which he had brought today, meant that he had made his own stand on this matter. He will not change his decision, but you couldn't figure out why he's so angry. It was just a banquet. Why did he care so much? Even if it's really important, even if you had not gone, it was only right for him to be angry like this. And even take out that divorce agreement. You have to ask him, young madam, just listen to my advice. Think of it as Minho begging you. We don't want to see you fall apart like this, but things won't be better if you stand here just like that. You ignored him. You don't believe that Jungkook's anger would disappear after a few days. Things were supposed to be dealt on the spot. You both had already bad relation. It will only freeze if you both continue to have a cold war. It was just a day, 2 days, or even a week. He might not be able to calm down. In fact, his anger would only grow more and more as time passed. Weather was not good and wind started to be wild. Everyone suggested you to do as Minho told because they couldn't see you suffering like this. You lowered your head helplessly. So not only I'm waiting for him, I'm also punishing myself for today's mistake. Don't force me, please. Your lips had dried cause of wind and coldness. All stared at you standing there. Minho asked Bhumi to persuade you. She gave it a try, but looking at your determination, she couldn't do anything and walked away from there. She can't see you being like this. Minho chased after her anxiously. What's wrong with you? I asked you to persuade young madam to leave, not to let her. You heard it. My persuasion is useless. She had made up her mind. It was useless to say anything to her. Why don't you go and ask the young master? We can only rely on you. I can't go and talk with young master. Please take care of her whenever she feels uncomfortable. Let's act on situation. We can't do anything other than that. Bhumi left. Minho felt useless. Forget it. Just like what Bhumi said. Once something happens, just act according to the situation. So he also go and waited. He asked you to wait beside gate, but your stubborn self won't even listen. Minho bring you warm water to drink. You are grateful to him. He didn't left your side. You almost lost your conscience, but he supported you. You felt hungry, numb and cold. So cold, Jungkook. Your heart felt cold. You need his warmth. You had been standing there for so long, but he didn't want to see you. Or perhaps he didn't even know that you were waiting for him here. Or was it that even if he knew, he wouldn't come out to see you because you had made him wait for you for so long, but you didn't appear. So he was now taking revenge on you.